Okay, I think we're live properly now. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we're live properly now. Yo, it's your boy Jive English in the building. I hope you guys are having a good time. Hope everybody's having the big fun. Yeah, man. It's your boy Jive English, man. And I just want to have a little conversation with you guys. This is English Lit 101. Where we have some really dope conversations, where we have some really challenging perspectives offered right here. And what I want to talk about right today, man, is a challenge. It's a challenging subject. I want to do a little mini-series, a lecture series, I want to call it, where we will talk about the black man as a political figure. We'll call today this is the day that we have the actual intro to the class. We turn down a little music when we vibe a little bit too heavy. This is where we're going to have an amazing conversation. Here I am right now. I'm your boy Jive English. You were just watching the amazing Cliqu'd Studios. This is where we get all the cool stuff done in here. Tonight we're going to have Clicked the podcast. We're going to have some special guests in the night. So I definitely want you guys to tune in tonight. But for right now, I want to talk about English Lit 101. We are in, again, the amazing Clicked Studios. I am so happy that you guys get to see this amazing space with us. Yeah, this is the lab. This is the lab. This is the setup, man. It's amazing to me. This is where growth has gotten us. So we have an opportunity to really be in a dope facility and make some stuff happen. But we're going to talk about the black man as a political creature. And I need you guys to tune in with me. We're going to talk about this because there's a lot going on in this world. And there are a lot of narratives going out about black men from not black men. And it's okay to receive criticism. It's okay to receive pushback. But it is not okay to allow somebody else to control how you see you and how your intentionalism has been manufactured to create somebody else's perception of you. I'm going to start off by reading what I wrote, and then we're going to get into it. This is going to be the syllabus day. This is the day we just go over the syllabus, and we're going to go over what we're going to be talking about. Maybe a 4-part, 5-part lecture series on my perspective. I've been black manning for about 44 years. It has had its moments, and it's been great. It's been a bust at some moments, but it has been an adventure I wouldn't have any other way. So we're going to talk about this. The black man is a political creature from head to toe. From soul to psyche. Our actions, our words are edicts. And our actions are societal precursors to behavioral norms. So to himself, the black man owes much more responsibility and discipline. Let's dive into many ways. We sabotage our own best interest with women, violence, and greed. I want to talk about that, man. These are some of my suppositions to the argument that the black man is the most political creature on the planet. I'm not the first person to say this, for sure. I'm not the first person to really weigh in on how the black man's existence has been used in so many different ways that are against his agency, against his best wishes, and against his best interests. But I do think we can have a really dope conversation where we are honest about being black men as well, right? It's just not about what is going on the outside in those pressures, but it is about the pressures that are internal and how those things have definitely had a an adverse effect on who we've become and some of our responsibilities to that and some of those contributing factors. I definitely wanted to talk about discipline. That discipline, black men lack a lot of discipline. We lack a lot of honesty about our intentions. and about the influences that we've allowed in. It's not just about the influences that snuck past us. It's about the ones that we're cool with. We're absolutely cool with some of the most problematic behaviors, ingesting those and trying to recreate those in our community. Eurocentricity being one, patriarchy being one. Yeah. So I want to talk about that. Can we talk about in some ways how we sabotage our own best interest with our women? How using other societies, other communities, metrics and rhetoric around manhood have been used by black men to subjugate a woman who has always acted in her best self as a confidant, as a co-conspirator, as a sister in arms, definitely as a warrior queen, right? In the most humblest ways, just your partner, and how we've sabotaged our relationship with our black woman to idolize another frame of reference. Violence is another way that we have really sabotaged our communities. I get it, though, that there are certain disconnects that have happened to allow violence to be the language of choice for black men. It seems to be the only time they're listening. It seems to be the only time we are allowed to be, and I use the word allowed very loosely, but it's the only time that we experience any form of power is when we are enacting violence. Well thought or well reserved or well spoken black men don't necessarily in the norm have the space to speak and have their space respected. It is oftentimes through force and through threat of violence that even if for a fleeting moment we are given the space to have any authority. It's too many times that happens. It's at the end of the kind of violence that is going to get you locked away forever. It's almost like your last declaration before you go in. And greed. Greed has definitely done its thing in our community as black men to really augment the way we see the world. We've really latched onto this hyper-capitalist, if I get the money, then I get the power. We've all heard the music, we all heard the songs. That once I get this money, once I get this clout, once I get this paper, once I get this cheese, cheddar, chips, whatever, that once I have it, then all other things will fall in line. Even some people who are not necessarily prone to violence or even womanizing still use this as a metric in order to teach black men how to possess, own, and hold power. I believe that money is a horrible metric by which to use power. And I want to have a conversation about that going forward. I want you guys to really tune in with me, and we're going to turn this lecture into something great, man. This is going to be a classroom thing, right? We're really going to sit in this and have the kind of conversations that are going to really get to the bottom and get to some solutions, or at least some proposed solutions, right? Because there is a difference between answers and solutions. If you ask me why a thing is a thing, I can tell you why a thing is a thing. But if you ask me, why do we allow that thing to become a thing, and what can we do to stop that thing from being that thing, then that requires solutions. There's a difference between an answer and a solution, right? An answer is how we got here. A solution is how we go forward. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I just want to have that conversation with you guys. I think we are ready to have that kind of conversation. Man, again, we are in the amazing Cliqu'd Studios. I want to do a shameless little plug right here, man. If you really want to sit back. I'm looking out into the room myself. If you really want to have a dope conversation, if you really want to be in a dope place where podcasting can happen at a professional level for very understandable prices to get your message, your viewpoint, your mantra out into the world, Cliqu'd Studio is the place you can go to. We are always available via the inbox. We also are available. Take down this number, 912-318-2547. Send a text, leave a message, and allow us to really help you get to the vision of your podcast goals. All right, this is an amazing place to start your journey. Oh man, we have all the amenities. We do all the editing right here. So yeah, it's dope to have a nice home for an amazing you. All right, man, back to it all, man. The black man is the most political creature from head to toe. We're gonna start with a little history, right? Ever since 1619, when en masse African peoples, and that is not to take away from the melanated people that were here prior. Those are, these are two. We'll get into that. The African peoples were subjected. They're, the entire continent of Africa diced up and subdued, and all of those things that we know to have happened, and the mass deportation, the mass exodus, the mass enslavement of African peoples to the Americas writ large. Ever since that moment, we have been the most political creature on the planet. Our raw labor, our ability to produce culture, and our ability to protect communities, cultures, countries have always been the stuff of legend. From Christmas addicts to Sojourner Truth. We've always, not Sojourner Truth, I'm so sorry. The black woman is an amazing, amazing creature all by herself for a different conversation. Nat Turner is where I was going. From Christmas addict to Nat Turner, our bravery, our natural instinct to stand in front and really initiate revolution has never been unknown to the masses. When you talk about the COINTEL project, which we all know very well, and we hear what Hoover was saying about the Black Messiah, when you hear these things, they're not talking about an ineffectual male. They're not talking about a problematic male. What they're talking about is a terribly efficient male whom needs to be brought under subjugation and subdued at all times, lest they are able to free themselves and act in their own will for self-determination. That is what is important to understand at the onset, that in the onset of what we understand as colonialism and the slavery project of chattel slavery, was how effective the African male was and continues to be, and what it was going to take to wrangle that power and use it to create a whole new world order, because that is exactly what happened. So from that point, whenever you hear anything about the black male, you will most likely hear it being used disparagingly to really reinforce the idea that the black man is better when they are acting in somebody else's best interest. Very subtle ways that is done is through sports. A lot of our children's dynamic abilities to create are subdued and used into sports, athletics, just to entertain, right? A lot of your fire has been used to create fireworks, which only pop for a second and don't really affect anything, but it just entertains. If that force and that fire that these children and these young adults were able to harness, were ever able to be used to really drive political goals, ambitions of communities and regions, then you would see a world, you would see a country, you would see a state with a much different political regional thumbprint. That is just the truth. It's unfortunate that some of our best and our brightest are given to abandoning the communities that produce them. Give me 1 second. All right, guess who's back? Yeah. So guess who's back? So yeah, we're gonna put a thumbnail in that one. I definitely want you guys to come back. I'm going to be posting which days that I will be presenting this information going forward. I'm gonna try to keep it like a classroom thing. So I don't know if I'm gonna do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Tuesday and Thursday, that type of thing. But definitely gonna be moving forward. We're trying to get some really dope things going on. I really want to have this conversation. I really want everybody to really be excited that we're going to have some conversations that are going to hold black men accountable, uh, that are going to challenge black men, and that are going to challenge those who seek to be in any sort of relationship with black men, give them some understanding uh, on how they need to approach a positive relationship with black men uh, going forward. Not just the American black male, the black male writ large. And we're going to go into some different cultural things. So it's going to be a dope conversation. I want you guys to stay with me, man. I am going to get out of here. I got some things to do before the show tonight, but I really wanted to clock in with you guys. I am Jive English. This is the amazing Clicked Up Studios, and I'll catch you later. Peace.